I've always said on this channel, and every time we talk about him, I think he's overrated.
Swing and a drive. You can forget about this one, folks. Three-run homer way up there.
Daniel!
He's just chasing another move. But
Oh my
I hate Marcus Semien, so
Yeah, honestly, I hate. I mean, I'm not gonna say I hate the guy, but he's not like, oh my God, Chris Bryant, you know?
yeah, no. I go over the details for this, Chris.
I mean, I like him now. He's a Toronto Blue Jay, but I also don't like him now. He's gonna be like the new Randall Grichuk, the guy who I don't like on the team. Yeah, I don't know. I was just randomly like finishing my certifications class for multimeters. Oh, by the way, I got my certification, and then, yeah, I know it's cool. And then all of a sudden, I just see John Heyman, Semien to the Jays. That's it, nothing else. I'm like, huh, he's a credible source. And then everyone else started tweeting it out. So I'm like, I guess we got Marcus Semien now. So that's cool, I guess. I mean,
blowing up my phone, and I'm like eating dinner with my family.
yeah, I ate dinner in like 5 minutes, and then came up here, and then you ended up playing NHL, and then yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So Marcus Semien went to the Jays on a 1-year, $18 million deal, which I think is a massive overpay. But it's also 1 year, so you can't really overpay for a player unless it's like something crazy. So I mean, it's all right.
I've always said on this channel, and every time we talk about him, I think he's overrated. I personally don't like the move the Jays made. I'd rather have Didi Gregorius over him, and he's cheaper, and I'd rather put some of this $18 million towards like pitching, which we need.
Yeah. I did see something though that still says we have $68 million to spend. Like that's how much we're under, I think, the luxury tax threshold. I think that's what it is. So we still have money to give to a pitcher, and I'm pretty sure Paxton or Odorizzi are gonna ask for under 20. So.
Yeah, but still, like, you could have got Didi, and you could have saved this money, and you could have got, because you could never really have too many pitchers, you know?
Yeah. See, there's one thing I think that this deal is. You know how it's a 1-year deal? I think it's a like safe haven in case Vladdy doesn't do good at third base. Like Semien's the backup to Vladdy, I would say, because it's a 1-year deal. It's like you can maybe play them.
They're gonna move. I can't remember who said it. It was on Twitter. They said they're probably looking at moving Semien to second.
Yeah, no.
That's where all the talks are, and they're gonna put Cavan in third.
Why would they even do that? We can't have two young guys battle for the same position.
No, I'm saying if Vladdy can't play third.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like, if Vladdy struggles, they're going to put Cavan at third.
I would start off by putting Semien and what's his face, Vladdy, rotating between third base. One is, other maybe Vlad's first base sometimes, and if Vlad doesn't do good, they'll put Semien. I would keep Cavan at second base. I love his versatility, but I like him at second. Him and Bo are just like a dynamic duo.
Okay, but the thing is with Semien, so I'm just pulling up his career stats right now.
Yeah, I have them up right now, too.
254 batting average, and then he's had a 322 on base and a 425 slugging.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at his numbers throughout, he's been in the league since 2013.
Yes.
He hasn't really put up good numbers. Like from 2013 to 2018, he had a career like 240 average with like a career 300 on base, which is pretty.
I mean, it's like average. It's like he's a good shortstop, pretty much.
Definition of average.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, however, with him, between those times, between 2013 and 2018, he led the league in errors at shortstop.
He did? Really?
Led the league in errors. Yes, I remember, I don't remember which year, but there was one year we were at the game watching Oakland versus Toronto, and he made 4 errors in the same game.
Ooh, that's brutal. Who is this guy, like Jose Reyes?
Like, and then 2019, he had his MVP season. I'm not going to deny he had a good MVP season that year.
Yeah, I feel like
285 with 369 on base, but like
has his defense improved since then?
At 2019, he had the best defensive year. Like he was the best defensive player that year.
Did he win Gold Glove?
I think he won Gold Glove that year.
Oh wow, that's a lot of. Okay, I like that improvement.
But then 2020, he went back to himself, like his old self.
In defensive wise or just hitting wise? I know his hitting.
I don't know about defensive wise.
Yeah, the thing is though, you can't really judge 2020 off like you can't really base a player off of 2020. So I mean, it's a good representative, but like in 60 games, he hit 223 with 7 home runs. So I mean, yeah, you take what you want from that. I think he'll be in between if once he's with the Jays again. But then again, also in Oakland, he was kind of like the player that they relied on. Also him and Matt Chapman, but they both weren't that good this year, and the team still performed really well, which I find to be really
Yeah, because
weird.
they had people like Matt Olson, Robbie Grossman, Ramon Lozano. They were
Loriano,
stepping
yeah,
up like crazy.
yeah.
Loriano, sorry, my bad.
If he
But
were
yeah,
to
the
be, do you
thing
think
that
he?
worried me. Sorry, one more thing. The thing that
Yeah,
worries me about Semien is that the Jays were trying to. The Jays were awful defensively last year. You know, as a Jays fan, I know as a Jays fan, we
it
were
was bad.
terrible defensively.
Minus
And they said
Gurriel.
they want minus Gurriel, yes, and Jansen behind the plate, but
Yes.
they wanted to get better this year defensively. I don't know if bringing Marcus Semien is a good defensive move.
I mean, it's better. I think overall it's better than Vladdy at third base. But I want to test Vladdy out here. Like I would give Vladdy at least half the year to try it out, or even give him the full year. Who cares? Because this is still technically a development year. I know we're getting a lot of players to push. It could be like a pushing development year. So I think the pros outweigh the cons right now in signing Semien, mainly because he's a good backup, and honestly, he'll probably be hitting from 7th to 9th in the batting lineup with our batting order. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the only and like I said, I won't hate on him too much because if he can prove me wrong here and have a breakout season, I'm more than glad. Prove me wrong, right?
yes.
But I like you said, he's going to be batting low in our order probably. He can maybe highest he'll go up is probably second, I'd say.
Yeah, and I have a question that I
Off
want to.
days and everything. One more thing, and you can ask the question here.
Yeah.
You keep saying he's a backup. I don't really think he's going to be a backup. I have a feeling he'll either DH, play the field, or play the field somewhere.
Yeah, no, this is where
that black
my question
going
comes in. So now that we have Semien, he's pretty much gonna. I would say he'd probably be replacing more of Rowdy Tellez or like Randall Grichuk in like the maybe substitute DH or third base spot wherever they flip with Vladdy and stuff. But if that happens, and then we'll have an extra spot, does that mean we can maybe throw Cavan in the outfield as our backup outfielder, keep him there, and then trade one of our outfielders for a starting pitcher now?
Yeah, I think it's almost guaranteed. Because we trade one of the outfielders.
Yeah, we have the
I
depth now.
think
We have
it's going
it.
to be Teoscar. I really think it's going to be Teoscar.
If we want the most bang for our buck, we trade Lourdes, but I think he's a solid keep. If we want to get the most out of Teoscar and Randall, we trade Teoscar.
Well, I know. Well, obviously, just looking at it logically between the four outfielders there, obviously they're not trading Springer.
No.
Unless we're getting Mike Trout, we're not trading Springer.
I mean, if we want to get Mike Trout, I'm not going to say
That's what
no.
I said. Unless we get
Yeah,
Mike
exactly.
Trout,
Or Acuna. I'll
right?
take him. He's pretty good.
Or Acuna or Bellinger, you know.
Yeah,
We're
no, maybe
trading
not
Springer.
Bellinger. I'm not a fan of him. I mean, Yelich, on the other hand. I mean, Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts.
Okay, unless he's a prime player, we're not getting trade Springer. Lourdes, they've already said if they were going to trade Lourdes, they would have traded him for Lindor.
Yeah. I mean, I would like
Right,
Lindor.
so I don't think they're going to trade Lourdes.
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, for a prime player again.
Exactly.
Teoscar's the youngest out of both of them, and he's coming off a great season, so I think he's the one to go. Plus, you also remember we have Jonathan Davis in the minors, who is a fantastic fourth outfielder, defensive-only player.
Don't forget about Austin Martin.
And Austin Martin coming up, right? So I think Teoscar, his days are numbered as a J. And
Yeah, and also, I wanted to say this before you say one thing. He's cheap. Like, his contract, we have him under arbitration for, I think, 3 to 4 more years, if I'm not mistaken. And
I
that
think it was
player,
like 2.8 this year, right? It was arbitration or something.
teams really value that. Especially teams like Tampa Bay or Oakland, you know? Like, even expensive teams like the Yankees and Red Sox, they're trying to shed payroll, so, I mean, they could even make a deal for Teoscar. I do not want him to be traded in the East, because then we have to play him all the time, and he'll hit bombs. Let's trade him to the NL West, where he's the farthest away from us.
Now, do you think, because there was rumors were going around about the Jays trading for Bryant or Hendricks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that this Semien move means that we're not going to get Bryant and Hendricks?
Yeah, I think so. Why would we pick up a third base shortstop guy when we could have gotten a third base shortstop guy, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, and it kind of sucks because, like I said, I'd rather have Bryant.
100%. But I think the
and
thing...
Hendricks.
Yeah, I think the move is that they don't want to trade away their prospect capital, especially when we have the money to back this up.
That's true.
Because we have a big payroll. We have a small payroll.
Yeah, even with the Rogers money.
Yeah. Also this is a big move. I think it's a good move because it's a 1-year deal, and you know how loaded the shortstop free agency is next year. And just say Vladdy doesn't work out, we could easily pick up a Trevor Story.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I mean,
easily as in saying that we paid him enough money, but yes, yes.
oh yeah, of
There's
course,
a
of
lot
course.
of there's a lot of technically Lindor's still going to be a free agent next year.
Yes,
They haven't come to an
Baez,
agreement
but
yet.
I don't want Baez.
Baez.
Story, Correa. I mean, any one of those. Just take all of Houston's players at this point. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting because
I personally think Story
I
would be the
still can't
best.
get around the fact that they said they're going to improve defensively, and we bring in the guy who has made the most amount of errors from 2013 to 2018.
Yeah. I mean, it even could just be a placeholder until Jordan Groshans is ready.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus Semien, like I know, yeah, he's an all-star. He can be a good player. Like you said, it's a pretty safe move. You're either going to get the 2019 Marcus Semien where he was third in MVP voting,
Yep.
or you're going to get the 2020, 2013, the 2018 Marcus Semien where you hit 240 and you make most errors in the league.
Yeah. But I do think his numbers, like at least power numbers, are going to be a little bit better in Rogers Center or wherever he play, like Buffalo or Dunedin, because Oakland's not a hitter-friendly ballpark. So I think
That is true.
Yeah, I think his numbers might be a little better. Maybe the average will be lower, but maybe the power numbers will be a little higher. The RBI numbers will be maybe higher too, considering our batting lineup is insane. So I think overall it'll be a better year.
You touched on it earlier. Semien's gonna be batting like what, 6, maybe?
I'd bat him
6, 5, 6.
Honestly, I would bat him 9th because I think Danny Jansen should be 8th. Maybe if Semien has a good season, he can move up a little bit, but then maybe keep him 9th because his on base percentage is a little bit better than Danny Jansen's, and he could be maybe used as like a table setter.
Yeah, we were talking. I think the first 3 now that especially they didn't get Brantley for whatever reason, that whole debacle.
Yeah, that was weird.
I think the first 3 is kind of set. It's probably going to be Biggio 1, Bo 2, George 3.
Yeah,
right?
and then if we trade Teoscar, then
if we trade Teoscar or not, he's 4. And if we do trade him, I think Lourdes fits right in there.
Yeah, Lourdes could fit into 4, or Vladdy, or Rowdy Tellez,
yeah,
or even Randall, honestly.
Even Randall, yeah. You know what? I can see 9. I think he's either going to hit 6 or 9, to be honest.
Yeah, I 69. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I see 6, 7, 9, maybe 8. I don't know, wherever they want Danny Jansen or Kirk to hit.
Odd day he can hit 2.
No.
when Cavan's out for a rest day or Bo's out for a rest day or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would make sense. But if he's having an MVP type season, you could even bat him in the 4 stick.
Yes, for sure. And one more thing, and then I think we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, we've been talking for a while.
Jays have a lot of righties in their lineup now.
He's a righty?
Yeah, he's a righty. The only 2 lefties I can think of are Tellez, who's in there every other day, and Cavan.
Oh yeah, look at that. I do think we need another one to.
That's why I would have preferred Didi for this point too as well. He's a lefty bat.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I see it kind of as like a low risk, high reward type deal, kind of like the Robbie Ray deal.
Yeah. Oh well, you know what? Prove me wrong, Marcus Semien.
Please.
Go off this year. Prove me wrong. Have an MVP type season, and I will never doubt you again.
Daniel, you want to make this bet? If he finishes top 10 in MVP voting, will you buy an a Marcus Semien new blue jersey?
Hey, not top 10.
Okay, that's true because he's on a 1-year
top
deal.
five,
Yeah, he's on a 1-year
top
deal.
five.
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5, I will buy a Marcus Semien jersey.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like a 2 or 3 year deal, yeah, I'll buy one. But yeah, it's only 1.
Top 5, finishes top 5, I'll buy a Marcus Semien jersey. If he actually wins the MVP, I will buy both an Oakland and a Jays Marcus Semien jersey.
Or you can just buy 2 Jays ones, one for me, one for you.
That could work too.
Yeah, exactly. I do need a gray jersey, but I'm thinking of getting a gray Springer jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I need to get all the colors, you know what I mean? All right, so we're getting off topic. Let's end the video here.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see more podcast content like this, where we want to be the first to get this stuff out. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. See y'all next time. Goodbye.
Take care, everyone.